the most overrated ready or not items and weapons. I made a video a few weeks ago about the most underrated items, so this is the obvious sequel. This video is my opinion and personal preference. Even if an item is on this list, it doesn't mean it's bad, I just think it gets more credit than it deserves. The first item on the list is pepper spray. Pepper spray is useful, but definitely overrated. It's in almost every loadout, and instead of taking up a munition slot, you can just punch civilians, or if you already have a taser, you can use that. Pepper spray is just a worse version of the taser since it also can't take down suspects and isn't very reliable against civilians. Next is C2. C2 is only useful for a few niche situations like tripwires, but it's easier to just bring a lockpick gun to take down tripwires. The worst part about C2 is it takes up a full munition slot and you only get one charge of it, when you could bring a lockpick gun or battering ram for infinite uses, or a breach shotgun for 24 uses. You can even just kick down doors and it's free, or just use the multi-tool to unlock doors, which is also free. Next is a more controversial one, but I have good reason for putting it on this list: the Glock. The Glock is overall a decent weapon, but it's one of the most popular pistols in the game when there are a ton of better ones. Here, I'll even list some right now: the 357 Magnum, B92X, M45A1, TLE 1911, 5.7, USP 45, and there are more. Those are just the ones that come to mind. The main reason the Glock is so bad compared to these other weapons is its 9mm, which makes it incredibly weak against armored suspects compared to these other pistols. The only good things about the Glock are it has tons of attachments and it has a pretty large 15-round capacity. The problem is there's one gun in particular that is better on both of these points: the 5.7. The 5.7 has a 20-round capacity and it has just as many attachment options as the Glock, has less recoil, and is more powerful. This just makes the 5.7 better. There are actually a few other pistols in the game with the same or better 15-round capacity as the Glock: the B92X, the M11 Compact, the 509, and the 5.7. In fact, half of the pistols in the game actually have a 15 or more round capacity, so it isn't all that special. The Glock is pretty much just the worst 5.7 in every way. While I'm talking about overrated pistols, I need to mention one more: the TRPL, better known as the Pepperball pistol. Like everyone, I was excited when this weapon was added, but it's almost useless. It only has a 6-round capacity, can have almost no attachments, and it's slow. Even the taser is better than this weapon. It would be good for a shield playthrough if it held more than 6 shots. This weapon was a good concept, but really just a bad execution. Staying on the line of pepperball guns, next is the TPL, or the SMG pepperball gun, even though it's not full auto. This weapon is also just a worse version of the VPL in every way. The only reason I would ever use the TPL is because the VPL's attachments often don't work because of a bug. Next is JHP ammo. This ammo is very situational and is only good for the first few missions before enemies get armor, since AP ammo is just much better against armored suspects. JHP isn't useless, but I would personally never choose it. Now for some armor related things, with the first one being Kevlar plating. Kevlar is just worse ceramic since it provides much worse protection and is barely lighter than ceramic, making it a lot worse, and I would personally never choose it. Now for heavy armor. I do understand why people use this. It gives you better coverage and better armor, but the trade-off for that is a lot, and there are other alternatives that are better. The trade-off most people think of is with heavy armor, it's of course heavier, leading to worse movement speed. But that isn't actually the main problem. The biggest problem is the 2 less munition slots when compared to light armor. Munition slots may not seem as important as protection, but even if you're going for a challenge run, S rank, or something else, I would take 2 extra flashbangs over slightly better armor any day. Plus, if you don't care about movement speed and just want better armor, you can go with steel as the material. The next two are very similar, so I'll put them together on the list. Green phosphor night vision goggles and small view night vision goggles. These are both the default settings for night vision goggles, but they're also the worst settings. The color is preference, but the white phosphor is just so much clearer than the green. And the small vision ones are just worse than the big ones. Here, I'll give you a test. Which do you think is better? 1 or 2? Obviously 2, since they're much clearer and you can see a lot more. Now for the color. 1 or 2? Once again, for most people, it's 2, as the white is much clearer and makes it easier to see suspects. Now, for the last item on the list, the M320s. These are pretty useless. They're slower than just throwing a grenade, since you have to switch to them rather than just pressing G to throw a grenade. They take forever to reload as well, and the worst part is, each of them can only use one type of grenade, while throwing grenades can use all 3. The only point in using these is to get the achievement, and even that takes forever. And there's the list. If you have another item you think should be on the list, comment down below. I'm closing in on 1,000 subscribers, and when I get there, I can get monetized, and I'll have something special for you guys. So like and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot. If you want to see the most underrated items in Ready or Not, click the link on the bottom left. The top left is what YouTube thinks you want to watch next. The bottom right are tier lists of Ready or Not weapons. The top right's a subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more.